Your job might have meetings, emails, and one person who says, "quick call," at 6 p.m. Ancient workers had jobs where quick call could mean stomping clothes in old urine, standing beside a furnace that could cook you alive, or breathing poison underground. And before we start, not everyone on this list had a choice. Some were paid workers, others were enslaved, punished, or forced into brutal labor. So this starts disgusting. Then it gets dark. Number 10. Roman fuller. Imagine being a Roman laundry worker. Sounds fine, right? Dirty clothes exist. Somebody has to wash them. But Roman fullers did not have washing machines. They had giant tubs, and one of the cleaning ingredients could be old urine. Ancient Rome built aqueducts, roads, baths, and arenas, then chose feed-in-urine technology for laundry. Fullers cleaned and finished clothes in workshops called fulleries. Workers could stand in tubs and stomp on cloth to help clean it. Basically, they were human washing machines. The science was not completely random. Urine could help with cleaning and bleaching cloth. Still, imagine your job interview. Any experience? Yes, I can professionally jump on a senator's toga. Pompeii had several of these laundry workshops, which means this was not one weird guy's business idea. It was an actual industry. And somehow, that was only number 10, because the next job smelled like luxury. Number 9. Tyrian purple dye worker. Purple clothes used to be a ridiculous flex. Today, you can buy a purple hoodie for cheap. In the ancient world, purple dye could mean wealth, royalty, and please do not speak to me unless you own 3 ships. But making that dye was horrible. Tyrian purple came from sea snails. Workers needed huge numbers of them. They had to process the snails, collect the dye material, and boil it. That meant piles of shells, rotting sea creatures, and a smell so bad that fish market would be generous. This was basically a cursed seafood factory. The final product looked beautiful. Rich purple fabric for rich people. The worker making it probably smelled like the ocean had personally taken revenge. Imagine going home after work. Your family asks, "How was your day?" And you say, "I helped make royal clothing." Then everyone takes one step back. But at least the purple dye worker could see what was making the workplace awful. The next job involved animal hides, vats, and a smell nobody was escaping. Number 8. Tanner. Leather was everywhere in the ancient world. Shoes, belts, bags, straps, armor parts, which means somebody had to turn animal hide into leather. That person was the tanner. Ancient tanneries had large containers and vats where hides were washed, treated, softened, and prepared. So your entire workplace was wet, heavy, slippery, and smelled like a farm had lost a fight with a swamp. Your leather jacket has a villain origin story. The work mattered. Leather was useful, but imagine doing the same job every day with no gloves, no ventilation, and absolutely no chance your clothes would ever smell normal again. Ancient workplace safety was basically, try not to fall in. And if you did fall in, well, new fear unlocked. At least the tanner had air. The next worker spent long days beside a furnace hot enough to turn mud into bricks. Number 7. Brick-kiln worker. Ancient cities loved bricks. Walls, homes, forts, baths, roads. Every time historians point at an ancient building and say, "Look how advanced they were," remember that somebody had to make every single brick. Brick workers dug clay, shaped it, dried it, stacked it, fed fuel into kilns, and dealt with serious heat and smoke. This was not cozy fireplace heat. This was, the oven is the size of a house and it hates you heat, and you had to keep feeding it. Hour after hour, the city gets its bricks. You get heat, smoke, and a terrible day. Still, the kiln worker had one advantage. The danger was visible. The next worker could be crushed by the ground itself. Number 6. Quarry laborer. Ancient cities needed stone, temples, roads, statues, aqueducts, but first, somebody had to cut it out of a mountain. Quarry labor meant cutting massive stone blocks, then moving them. The stone did not care how tired you were. There was dust everywhere, and sometimes the wall could collapse. A mountain can basically uninstall itself, and when that happened, there was nowhere to hide. For many people, this was not work they freely chose. Some quarry labor was brutally forced. The buildings lasted for centuries, but the workers' day could be dangerous from the first swing of a hammer. This is the kind of job where the workplace is trying to become your graveyard, and it still was not the worst place to spend a workday, because the next workers were trapped in rhythm, wood, sweat, and war. Number 5. War-galley rower. When people imagine ancient galley rowers, they often picture people chained to oars, but not every galley rower was chained. Many were free citizens. Others were hired sailors. Others were trained crew. That does not make the job easy. A trireme could have around 170 rowers rowers. You were packed inside a long wooden ship, with rows of benches, and one massive oar for each rower. Everybody had to pull in the exact same rhythm. One person messes up, and suddenly everybody's oars are crashing into each other. No playlist, no air conditioning, and when battle started, you still had to keep rowing. The ship is shaking, loud and packed. You are trapped in a moving wooden hallway, and another ship is getting closer. That is not a rowing workout. That is panic with oars. Every pull had to stay in rhythm, and there was no easy way out. The next job put danger in front of a cheering crowd. Number 4. Gladiator. Being a gladiator meant your workplace was an arena, and your job came with thousands of people watching. Your weapon review was not done by HR, but gladiator fights did not automatically end in death. Trained fighters were valuable. They took time, food, equipment, and training, so owners did not want to throw away an expensive fighter. Some gladiators were enslaved, others were condemned, and some volunteered, but everyone entered the arena to entertain a crowd. You could be skilled, trained, and famous, but you were still a person standing in the sand while thousands watched. Ancient sports had way more trauma. The next danger was worse because you could not always see it. Number 3. Lead and silver smelter. Silver meant coins, jewelry, trade, power, but silver ore often contained lead, and lead is toxic. Smelters heated the ore and separated metals. No masks, no sealed rooms, no filters. The fumes were part of the job. Roman-era lead pollution can still be found in Arctic ice. Think about that. An empire was being powered, but workers paid in fumes. And number 2 was worse because it combined wealth, dark tunnels, and forced labor. Number 2. Laurion silver miner. Athens was famous for its temples, ideas, and power, but silver helped pay for much of that glory. A lot of it came from Laurion. From above, it looked like ordinary rocky land. Below it were mine shafts, long galleries, and darkness. Workers went down through narrow entrances, then deeper. The tunnels were low, the air was thin and dusty, and for many workers, there was no choice. Athens could celebrate democracy above ground, but below ground, much of the labor was unfree. The coins had owls on them, but behind the owl was a mine, and behind the mine was a human being in the dark. Athens' glory had a human cost. Number 1 is worse, because the danger did not even look dangerous. Number 1. Mercury worker. Mercury looked almost magical, a shiny liquid metal, but it was poisonous. Mercury was mined in places like Almaden, Spain, since antiquity. Workers dug it out of the ground. Then the invisible danger started. You could breathe it in without knowing. There was no obvious warning. The worker just kept working. And that is what makes mercury so terrifying. The danger was in the air. Over time, mercury exposure could damage the nervous system, lungs, and kidneys. This was not the kind of danger that hits you once. It could follow you home. It could stay with you. And the worst part, the worker might not even know why they felt sick. Society needed valuable things, and workers got stuck with the worst parts of making them. Ancient history can look glamorous from far away. Temples, roads, coins, ships, but somebody had to make all of it. Somebody made the bricks, somebody washed the clothes, somebody rowed the ships, somebody mined the silver. And often, they did not get to choose. The workers are easy to forget, but their work is everywhere. Your job might have meetings, emails, and somebody saying, "Quick call at 6 p.m. That is bad. But ancient workers had urine laundry, furnaces the size of a house, warships full of oars, mines where the danger was in the air. Suddenly that meeting does not look so bad. Ancient workers were playing life on nightmare difficulty.